What's the reason? How difficult it would be for you to regroup these boys ahead of marquee clash against Pakistan and going ahead in the tournament?
I think that's what my job is. If it doesn't go the way we want it to go, that's a time when everybody needs to pitch in. But I don't think it will be a big factor. The reason being, what I always tell the boys is, you have to see what kind of cricket you are playing. What's the mistake that you have committed in the game, rather than thinking as to we only scored 80 runs or 90 runs. What's important is how to turn around and how to come back strong. And I feel this team has done it plenty of times. Right from the last World Cup that we played, it's something that the team has shown. This character of coming back after you can say a bad defeat, but that's what it is all about. So I don't think I'll have to work too hard.
Mr. Nayak,
MS, do you think? Do you think the spinners bowled better than ours, or was it another bad day for the batsmen? What exactly you have?
I think the dismissals, our batsmen, there are quite a few soft dismissals, and if you see the way, there was no partnership at all. What's needed is when you're scoring 120 or 125 runs, chasing. We all knew the wicket was slightly on the slower side, but the good thing is we still restricted them to a good score. I think 140 would have been a par score on a wicket like this. So I feel the bowlers did a good job by restricting them to 126. I felt it was a batting department, which could have done slightly more. We kept, I think every alternate over we lost one wicket, and it becomes more and more difficult. Once the top order gets out, the batsman who comes in, let's talk about the 5, 6 or 7, they have that pressure of one extra wicket falling. So it seems as if cricket becomes very difficult, but what's important is at that time to get some kind of a partnership going, even if it's not big when it comes to the number of runs scored, but it just gives that calmness to the dressing room and the batsman who's coming afterwards. So I feel it was to some extent lack of application, few good deliveries, but it was more, I think, the soft dismissals than the good deliveries. But I thought they bowled well, but I'm not saying they bowled or our spinners didn't bowl well, because bulk of bowling was also done by the spinners from our side.
You spoke of the lack of partnerships. Is there a particular reason why our Indian batsmen sometimes struggle against a turning ball on pitches like this? We've seen it before in a couple of test matches as well. Could you pinpoint some reasons why that happens?
No, if you see on a turning wicket, it's a challenge, and when I was playing Test cricket, a lot of times people used to question turning wickets, and I always said it is actually more difficult to score runs on turning wicket compared to the seaming track, because at some point of time the seaming track actually becomes flat before it starts to turn. So I feel this is also a challenge in itself. And I feel it's as sporting as some of the other wickets. It's just that often people talk about spinning wicket as not sporting wicket. It's only the seaming wicket that are sporting. Maybe what hits in the head is only a sporting wicket. But to pinpoint a reason, it can happen. We have seen, though we have won a lot of test matches, but there were quite a few good innings that was scored. Two batsmen really scoring big, because of which the opposition were put under pressure. So you have to, the error part, you can commit an error and can get out very soon on a turning wicket. So you have to be careful, you have to adapt. But I felt, this day was more about adaptability than, looking to hit big.
question here.
Talking in general, do you see, is this a concern that, we are failing against spin bowling too often? Is this, talking in general, from the past experiences, do you think we are a bit, lacking in terms of tackling spin bowling as efficiently as we used to do it earlier?
Well, you have to see the stats, and I would say the first initial years of Test cricket that I played on Test wickets, that didn't turn at all. And even when Muralidharan was bowling on that kind of wicket, people were scoring runs. So what's important is not to just look at stats saying, okay, this guy was bowling, who is a spinner, and this guy was batting, he scores 100. What's important is what kind of a purchase the bowler is getting, how difficult it is for the batsman to score runs, whether there is pace on offer or not. So these are the real stats that we need to study. At times in India we say, okay, India is a heaven where people come and they score the big hundreds. But if you see lately the kind of wickets we have played, you will see somebody scoring a 40, 45 or 50 is actually more than 150 on a good wicket. So I feel that's where you have to see as to whether the spinners were bowling well. There was enough for the spinners, and then the batsman scores run, then it is good batting. So I feel off late, we have been playing on wickets that are very tough, but that's what Test cricket is all about. It's amazing how we are talking about more Test cricket.
I'll take last two questions in English before we take last two questions in Hindi. I will not take any more questions in English. Chetan and Jaspreet.
Mahi, in the Asia Cup result, initial part of the Asia Cup result, pitches were a bit too green and you're not satisfied in terms of preparation for the World Cup. Are you satisfied with tonight's pitch?
Well, as I said, it was a 140 wicket, and there have been quite a few games. It's difficult to get a benchmark when it comes to India. The only benchmark is you again try to fall back to IPL. We have seen wickets where they spin and turn on offer, and still the batsmen they score 140 runs, which looks like a very good score. And I feel this wicket was also like a 140 wicket. 126, I felt the bowlers did a decent job to contain them to 126. Yes, it has big outfield, the ball was turning, but if you have some kind of a partnership going, what you can do is you can push in the middle, you can look for twos and in between play the big shot. But if you keep losing wicket, it becomes more and more difficult to rotate easily on a wicket like this. So I felt it was the partnership that was problem.
Last question in English, Jaspreet.
Hi MS, do you think the Kiwis, they read the pitch better than India because they played their 3 spinners and resting their 2 key bowlers, Trent Bolt and James Harvey? And do you think that we could have played Navy or Harbhajan instead of Pandyas just to...
Well, again, if you see UV didn't bowl a single over. What also you have to see is what kind of a batsman is batting. Like if you compare the 2 innings, when we had overs of the left arm spin, there were 2 left-handers who were batting at that point of time. So that makes it slightly difficult for the captain. You want to use the away-going spinner, and I feel with Hardik being there, if the need arises of if you need a seamer, you can obviously use him. If you need a spinner, you already have somebody like a Suresh Raina or a Yuvraj Singh, and you didn't bowl a single over because I felt he was not needed, or maybe the situation didn't permit me to use him with 2 left-handers batting at that point of time. In fact, there was a situation in the middle where I said maybe I won't use Jadeja's 2 over also because with Anderson batting with the other left-hander, he was looking for the big shots. I said maybe fast bowler is the better option at that point of time.
Last two questions in Hindi. Apart from Sunandan, anyone wants to ask a question? I'll start with Sunandan.
माही कैसा खेल है ये क्रिकेट? कल तक फेवरेट बोला जाता है, आज फट करके फेवरेट का टाइम कर जाता है. क्या ये बैकअप कॉल अच्छा है?
वेल डेफिनेटली अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि मैंने हमेशा से ये बात बोली है कि किसी भी चीज़ को फॉर ग्रांटेड लेना काफ़ी डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाता है. एंड इट्स गुड फॉर एवरीबडी, इट्स गुड फॉर द फैंस, इट्स गुड फॉर द इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम, क्योंकि हम भी रियलाइज़ करेंगे कि हमें किस तरीके से बैटिंग करनी होगी, क्योंकि विकेट्स हर जगह डिफरेंट होंगे. अभी हम कोलकाता जाएंगे तो वहाँ का विकेट थोड़ा डिफरेंट होगा, उसके बाद जहाँ पे खेलेंगे वहाँ का विकेट. सो यू हैव टू असेस, यू हैव टू अडैप्ट, एंड हाउ क्विकली यू रीड द विकेट, वही सारी चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएंगे. सो आई फील इट्स अ गुड वन फॉर अस. होपफुली जितना मार्जिन ऑफ डिफीट जितना छोटा होता उतना हमारे लिए अच्छा होता, क्योंकि आई थिंक एक T20 वर्ल्ड कप में ऐसा हुआ था कि हम एक मैच हारे थे और टूर्नामेंट में आगे क्वालिफाई नहीं किए थे. सो आई फील इम्पॉर्टेंट रहेगा कि आने वाले मैच जो हम खेलेंगे उसमें जीतना तो आपको ज़रूरी है, बट किस तरीके और किस मार्जिन से हम जीत रहे हैं वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस रखेगा.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन.
वही अभी पाकिस्तान मैच तो आप लोगों का 2 टाइप हो गया, तो और भी प्रेशर आ गया, तो हैंडल कैसे करेंगे?
नहीं, हमने तो कभी बोला नहीं कि प्रेशर है, बट ऐसा कोई मैच हमने खेला नहीं. नहीं, उसके बाद भी जो 2 मैच है वो भी डू एंड डाई मैच है, क्योंकि वंस यू लूज़ द फर्स्ट गेम उसके बाद सारे डू एंड डाई सिचुएशन हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि यू कांट अफोर्ड टू लूज़ एनी मोर. एक आध गेम भी अगर आप गलती से भी हारेंगे तो आप टूर्नामेंट से बाहर हो जाएंगे. सो होपफुली इट विल ब्रिंग द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ अस. ऐसे सिचुएशन में हम पहले भी रह चुके हैं. एंड जहाँ तक प्रेशर की बात की जाए तो मैंने तो अभी तक मैच खेला नहीं है. यही मैं प्री मैच में भी बोल रहा था जब टॉस हो रहा था कि कोई ऐसा मैच आज तक हुआ नहीं है जिसमें हमारे ऊपर प्रेशर नहीं रहता है. सो इट्स पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेट एंड विल कोप विद.
थैंक यू.